Okay, today we're going to take a look at the three biggest issues I've found so far with my Galaxy S24 Ultra. So I got it yesterday. I've already got a screen protector on there from Spigen or Spigen, however you want to pronounce it. I also have a Spigen case with a pop socket on it. So far, pretty good. I like the style of it. It's pretty nice. This is the liquid air. So I want to talk about the issues that I found so far with the Galaxy S24. These are just the first three that have popped out to me that shouldn't be an issue. So let's dive into the first one, and that has to do with this guy. So if you've seen my videos, you know that I have a few of these Smart Tag 2s. The issue is they get detected quite fine, but the AR camera for the ultra wideband doesn't work, which is a big disappointment. Probably something in the software that can be fixed, but an issue nonetheless. So let's take a look. So we can go to devices. We can go down to our smart tag here. We'll put the smart tag there. We can see that it's connected. We'll view on the map. Okay, we'll go more, search nearby. It gets detected. It's right here. So if we move this around a little bit, we can see that the tag is here. And we'll put it a little bit away. There would normally be a pop-up here that says use camera, but there is no camera. But if you look carefully right here, it says in the top corner that we are using the camera, being used by SmartThings. So SmartThings is using the camera, it's just not available for us to use. So we can see that this says it's close to us. This information, this pointer, it generally works. I've tested around my house. It's just really close that it kind of thinks it's right here. So if we kind of throw it over there, we can see that the pointer does work. It's pointing pretty generally in the area that it should be. That's issue number one. The second issue is, as with all the other Galaxy phones, transfer speeds are phenomenally slow. It doesn't matter if you plug it in with the USB-C, if you do it over SMB, if you do it with FTP, the transfer speeds are slow, very slow. I'm talking about 10 to 15, maybe maximum 20 megabytes per second. This phone is far more capable of much higher speeds. You can copy a video that's 10 gigs on the internal storage in a matter of seconds. So the storage is very fast. I don't know why Samsung and Android in general has had this issue, but we can take a look. I am copying a lot of photos from my server over to this phone, and you can see that you can't tell because it's not telling you what the speed is. But if we just go over to my server, we can take a look at what the transfer speeds are here. Okay, so we can see right here that the transfer speed for this is an FTP transfer, which is unfortunately the fastest transfer speed I could find, is going only at 17, maybe 22. I've seen the maximum to this phone. This phone is downloading from this server at 20 megabytes per second. This server can transfer to 300 megabytes a second, no problem at all. I do it all the time over SMB for my Windows machines. Even with the Mac that I have, transfer speeds are very fast. Over Ethernet, over Wi-Fi, super fast. The phone is very capable of going fast. I can do a speed test. It'll get hundreds of megabytes per second. Let's even do that right now. Let's go speed test. We can run a speed test. So my Wi-Fi speeds, while it's doing an FTP transfer locally, is still 180 megabytes per second. So the phone is capable of going fast over my Wi-Fi. This doesn't make sense on why this is so slow. And it's the same deal going over SMB through the Samsung app here. So if we go My Files, we can go to Network Storage. We can go to our media. Even this is very slow. So even this transfer speed is extremely slow. Maximum 20 megabytes a second. Very disappointing. Even with the phone plugged into another phone, my previous phone, one that's recording right now, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra with USB-C to USB-C, Smart Switch said that to transfer all my photos would take 9 hours to transfer about 450 gigabytes of photos and videos to my new phone. So 9 hours to transfer 450 gigs equates to about 12 to 13 megabytes per second. Very slow. How is someone supposed to get a new phone, turn in their old one, and transfer all of that data? It doesn't make sense. This shouldn't take this long. This should take 1 hour, maybe 40 minutes to transfer that much data. It should be going hundreds of megabits per second. Very disappointing. And the third issue that we have here so far has to do with the camera. The issue with the camera that I'm having is it's a lot more restrictive on zoom and megapixel settings that you can use. So with the old Samsung S24 Ultra, it didn't matter if you were in 1:1, 3:4, or full. You could use the 100 times zoom. It didn't matter. You could zoom in all the way and get to 100 times. This, I am limited to 10x zoom. If I go down to 12, then I can do 100. So I have to reduce the quality of the picture in order to use more than 10 times zoom. Even if I want to do, say, 20 times zoom, I'm still limited to 12 megapixels. On 50 megapixels, I get 10x, and it's also restricted by the 4:3 or the 16:9. You can't go beyond 10 times zoom if you're using 50 megapixel or 200 megapixel. The old phones, they could go to the 100 times zoom, and it didn't matter. You could do 1:1. You can do whatever whatever format you wanted to select. You could do it. There was some slight restrictions, like if you wanted to use the 108 megapixel camera, I don't think it would do 100 times zoom, but automatically switch this. If I'm in 1:1 or something like that and it can't go, then automatically change. The second thing is I don't like the fact that they changed the optical zoom from 10x to 5x. There's already a 3x camera lens on here. So going from 3x to 5x for a different lens, that also doesn't make sense. They should have stuck with the 10x and just made the 5x a higher megapixel count and done it that way. I have a feeling this is some sort of competition with Apple. Apple put in a 5 and a 3 optical lens, so Samsung wanted to compete with that, but I think we're better off with a 10 times optical zoom. It makes much more sense to do that and give more megapixels to something that's higher than, if it's on the 3x optical, give it more megapixels to work with. Go to 50 or go to the 200 megapixel if you're zooming in between 3 and 10. So hopefully they'll be able to fix at least a couple of these things. The ultra wideband Bluetooth for the Samsung Smart Tag 2s is a big issue for me, at least. I would have loved to be able to use that because the S20 didn't have ultra wideband, so I wasn't able to use it on those, and now I'm not able to use it on this because it's broken. And the transfer speeds, it would be really nice if it actually had some transfer speed to it, but it doesn't. So 7 or 8 hours of transfers to get all the images across. Kind of a pain, but otherwise, all the other features, you've probably seen them all over YouTube. They work fantastic. The circle to swipe and the translations. So, like I said, leave a comment below if you have found any issues with your S24 Plus or Ultra or just regular S24. Let me know and we'll check it out. Maybe we'll make another video and see how it goes from there. Thanks for watching. Bye.